Good morning, all. How great it is to be together this beautiful Sunday morning. I'm Chic Welsh-Charrier, and I'm honored to be your platform assistant today. And we just heard from Alan Naylor doing special music today. We look forward to the rest of your music with us this morning, Alan. Thank you again. We always love having you here. And welcome back to Rev Ron Karstetter. How wonderful to see you this morning again. Look forward to your talk, as I always do. Thank you for joining us. We're ready for a great morning. All right, if you would all join me in the opening prayer today. I found the two prayers for today in the Unity publication. They just spoke to me. So please join me in prayer. I now relax and focus on my breath, easily releasing any thoughts of doubt, worry, lack, or fear. I turn within to the core of my being, that heart space where I remember and feel my connection to Source. I breathe with the calm and gentle knowing that God is with me now and in every moment. I hold this comfort like a warm hug. As I now open to guidance, I receive answers to my questions and I gain new perspectives about life. I feel the well-being and joy that are with me on every step of my journey. Wrapped in the knowledge that God is always available in me, I move forward with joy and confidence in my heart. And so it is.
Perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort. It is there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are most alone, the memory of love will bring you home. Perhaps love is like a window, perhaps an open door. It invites you to come closer, it wants to show you more. And even if you lose yourself and don't know what to do, the memory of love will see you through. Oh, love is is like a cloud, to some as strong as steel. For some a way of living, for some a way to feel. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go. And some say love is everything, and some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like the ocean, full of conflict, full of pain, like a fire when it's cold outside, thunder when it rains. If I should live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. For some to love is like a cloud, to some as strong as steel. For some a way of living, for some a way to feel. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go. And some say love is everything, and some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like the ocean, full of conflict, full of pain, like a fire when it's cold outside, thunder when it rains. If I should live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories eyes of love will be of you.
Thank you, Alan. Let's take a deep community breath and center for a moment. Let's keep that heart connection. The heart being the secret place of the Most High, getting into your heart space. Each breath, God breathing us breathing God. At the heart and root and foundation of you and of your life and of your experience is the wholeness of the universal creative process expressing itself as you. Don't let yourself wonder how. Don't let all these human thoughts go. Bring your attention to the now, and in your heart, just feel your oneness with the allness of the infinite. I invite you to know this with me. I am uplifted in consciousness, and I embody the moving reality of this uplifted consciousness. I am uplifted in consciousness, and I embody the moving reality of this uplifted consciousness. And with each breath, we expand. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. Amen. The good news in expression. In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 32, Jesus said, "Fear not, it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." And we also know from Jesus that this kingdom is within. And so our spiritual journey is one of unfolding that which is enfolded within us. And it's an invitation to not settle, but to continue to explore, to go deeper, to expand. And so 3 points this morning. What is the good pathway to the good news in expression, the good news of you? And then number 3, pushing the boundaries, going deeper, expanding beyond any sense of limitation, or as Jesus instructed in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7 through 12, to ask, seek, and knock. And so what is the good news? It is that there is a promise that lives within you now, a wholeness, a wellness, a godness, the ground of your being, Christ in you, the hope of glory. Is that true for you at the level of consciousness in this moment? And then how does wholeness, wellness, godness express in, through, and as you? How does it now picture in your life as you navigate this human experience? This is our spiritual work in unity, to conform to the within. So I want to touch on the Bible for a moment, which metaphysically we view as the story of us. Everything in it symbolizes stages of consciousness within us, the soul's evolution. It deals with what Eric Butterworth calls the upward fall of humankind, the progressive release of the imprisoned splendor, which has been built into us from the beginning. The final stage of this symbolic ascending urge of the infinite creative process within humankind is foretold in the Hebrew scriptures and brought to fulfillment in the Gospels of Jesus. The Gospels are the story of a man feeling the pull of the divine within him, and through discipline and great overcoming, going all the way to ultimate perfection, which explains Jesus and encourages us. He was not the great exception, but the great example of the I am reaching its highest and most complete expression in humankind. That Jesus achieved this is the good news, for it means that it's a reachable goal. And so on our spiritual path, we may take the long road or the short road to achieve it. It may take us 40 years wandering in the wilderness like the Israelites, or it may take eons of time. but it is foreordained that we manifest it because it's our true nature. Actually, you can never be anything else. You may try to copy someone else or to be conformed to the world, but this leads to failure and inharmony. It is the Christ of you that you must become. When in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 6, Jesus says, "Enter into the inner chamber and close the door and pray to the Father in secret," he is referring to the creative intention within you. Or as Emerson says, there is a guidance for each of us, and by lowly listening, we shall hear the right word, which means that within yourself, you have it. You can stop trying or looking hard for it or getting it and simply let it. Allow God to be through you. There's an image of light that has been one of the universal symbols of power and achievement that's mentioned numerous times throughout the scriptures. Let there be light was the first utterance in the creative process. Jesus turned this concept into a personal one for you. Let your light shine, implying that the true Son of God is not in the heavens, but within us, waiting to be expressed. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote that this infinite cause or divine principle is all good, and there is nothing but it in the universe. Hence, it must be all life, love, truth, and intelligence. There can be of necessity nothing else in existence but this one principle. Consequently, it must be omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. It is the all of existence, and there can be nothing real outside of it or separate from it in any way or apart from it in nature or character or description. A similar line from the Upanishads reads, "That which is the finest, this whole world has as its soul. That is reality. That is the self. That art thou." That art thou. And so how is your life an expression of this good news? How is it, and are you the light of the world? And so my second point, conscious living or awakened awareness is a pathway to accessing and actualizing our Christ consciousness. I want to share a few thoughts on conscious living as a pathway, and I'm going to be using some ideas from the book Conscious Living, Finding Joy in the Real World by Gay Hendricks. In it, Hendricks writes, conscious living comes from awakening contact with the organic flow of the spirit within us. Our troubles begin when we lose touch with the flow. Our troubles end when we remember to ask a conscious question, speak an authentic truth, take a conscious breath. Then we are back in the flow, consciously connected with that of God within ourselves and within all of creation. Hendricks outlines 5 lessons for this journey in conscious living, and I want to touch on each of those briefly. Lesson number 1, feel all your feelings deeply. Always and in every moment, embrace what is real, all of your feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, and realize that all of them occur in a larger space of your essence, of who you truly are. Lesson number 2, seek your true self. Get your priorities straight. First, focus on who you are, then let your actions flow from this place of deep self-knowledge. Lesson number 3, let go of the uncontrollable. How do we make sense of all the thousands and one moments of thoughts, feelings, and actions that make up our day? The human mind, if unchecked and unfocused, will leap back and forth between fantasy and reality, past and future, hundreds of times an hour. The secret of happiness is knowing that there are some things that you can control and some things that you can't, and some things that are just not true. Lesson number 4, we are all made of the same thing. When we go deeply enough into who we are and who others are, we find our organic connection with divinity and theirs. When our conditioning is cleared away, What remains at the core is the divine essence of the universe flowing within us and all of life. Henrik suggests that we go inward to taste the divine, not outward toward the synthesized experiences of others. And lesson number 5, life is fullest when we are most true to ourselves. Peace of mind comes only with our full participation in life. Our unity teachings don't change. We change according to our consciousness. That's our unity teaching. So much depends on where we put our attention and our intention. The facts of the day do not determine our experience. We do. Unity is about radical self-awareness, radical self-responsibility, radical love. Each day and each moment, we're able to create and recreate our lives and the very quality of human life on our planet. We get to rewrite our story every day. And so what experience do you want today? You get to choose. The good news in expression or something less than you are worthy of. This is the power we wield. And the freedom to choose is in this and each now moment. And so my third point, going deeper, expanding beyond any sense of limitation. Thomas Merton wrote that if the you of 5 years ago doesn't consider the you of today a heretic, you are not growing spiritually. So where is your growing edge? A promise lives within you now. God is, I am. But in his book, Talks on Truth, Charles Fillmore writes, the I am is not inertia. It is spurred on by an original impulse to know. But knowing is not complete as long as a single factor of being is left out of by the one who seeks to know. Meaning that our work in practical metaphysics is to demonstrate, to express principle, first in consciousness, and then to outpicture in every aspect of our lives as an abundance of wholeness, wellness, freedom, joy, inner peace, and a life filled with purpose and meaning. And so are you living at cause or effect in this moment? In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7, Jesus instructs his followers to ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, the one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks, the door will be opened. Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? The command shows that there is an inexhaustible supply in the invisible realm, which waits our call upon it, and that its manifestation is dependent only on our understanding of what we are to do to bring it into manifestation. Ask, seek, and knock are acts of desire. And desire is one of the 12 positive emotions that turn on the 12 powers. In this case, it's the emotion that turns on the faculty and power of imagination. Catherine Ponder in the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity writes that desire is the first step in the creative law, and that without desire, mental imaging and constant affirming are ineffective. In Unity, we know that prayer is one form of asking, seeking, and knocking. Then as we make our mind receptive to the higher understanding through silent meditation and affirmations of truth, this earnest desire to understand spiritual things will open the way and revelation within and without will follow. There's an offering blessing that we often use in Unity. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. But it has a much broader meaning as we lean into the awareness of the allness of God, divine love, source, good, infinite potentiality flowing in, through, and as us. We are individualized expressions of the flowing forth of divine love, manifestations of the unmanifest. Divine love flowing through me. Now what? The good news, that's completely up to you. And so what is the desire of your heart? What is the desire of the heart of this community? Divine love flowing through me, through you, through us, opens to a field of infinite potentiality. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And so what is the good news of you? And where is your spiritual growing edge that you are invited to explore and expand beyond? What is the next best and highest version of you that's seeking expression in this moment, this day? So that's your homework for further consideration, should you choose to engage. In the meantime, a passage from A Course in Miracles reminds us that the journey to God is merely the reawakening of the knowledge of where you are always and what you are forever. It is a journey without distance to a goal that has never changed. The Course says that there is a place in you where there is perfect peace. There's a place in you where nothing is impossible. Deep within you is everything that is perfect, ready to radiate through you and out into the world. And I'm here to remind you, we are here to remind each other that we are the good news in expression. The promise is to everyone, and it is fulfilled in you, in us, right here and right now. There is a story of a passenger in a small airline who was asked by the flight attendant, "Would you like dinner?" He replied, "Well, what are my choices?" And she replied, "Yes or no." So let's take a deep community breath. And in an awareness of God breathing us and us breathing God. May your eyes and heart continue to open wider with each new day to the absolute truth of your being and the wonder of it. And from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, arise, shine, your light has come, and the glory of Yahweh has risen upon you. This is the good news of you, Christ in you. And so hold on to that promise, fulfilled and not yet, still expanding, as we ask, seek, knock, and then allow God to be in, through, and as us. So I invite you to hold on to that as we move now into a time of meditation. Invite a deep community breath as we center down into stillness and into the silence. In the scriptures, we read of Jesus inviting his disciples to come ye apart for a while and rest. And so it's with deep gratitude that we hear this same invitation this morning and breathe into the gift of this sacred time of meditation, where we are invited to just be. For this is a time of Sabbath, Sabbath for the soul. And so if it's comfortable, gently closing your outer eyes and opening your inner eyes to a deeper knowing of truth. And with each inhale and exhale, we enter into stillness. Simply noticing the body and letting it, inviting it to become so very still. Releasing any attachment to the thoughts that float through the mind. No struggle, no pushing away of the thoughts. Using them only as signals to return to the breath. And as the mind is still, it is free from expectation fear, labels, ideas, or judgments. We allow that energy that speaks of separation to settle into this moment. We call on the energy of oneness that unites and transforms us. Gently allow your attention to drift to the center of your being, your heart space. Where, regardless of any relative thoughts or feelings to the contrary, we touch and contemplate and open to the divine I am, the truth of who and what we are, untethered, unhindered, unlimited. So with another deep community breath, we simply let go and rest for a while in the stillness of the silence, in that graceful state of allowing God to be in, through, and as us in the silence. Invite a deep community breath. This time of Sabbath, of rest in the silence, is good for the soul. And so we bring the blessing of this time of renewal with us as we gently return in consciousness to the space and time. Breath flowing in and out. Gratitude welling up in our hearts. In this place and awareness of infinite peace and potentiality. May you carry this affirmation with you. I am one with the consciousness of God's perfect life in me. I am one with the consciousness of God's perfect life in me. We make this affirmation in the name and through the power of the indwelling Christ that invites us into the ever newness and fullness of life. So with another deep breath, as you are ready, I invite you to gently open your eyes and with a knowing in your heart that I, you, and we are the place where God shows up. And so it is. Namaste, friends.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Alan, thank you so much for sharing your amazing talents with us, and perfect choice of songs. Thank you. Very moving, and wow, thank you. And Reverend Ron, oh my goodness, bravo. I want to thank you so much for your gentle, loving, and uplifting message. And now if you'd please join me in a closing prayer. Love is the foundation of my truth. In every moment, I choose to see or seek the presence of love. Should circumstances arrive that question or challenge this truth, may I draw more deeply on love's infinite inner wellspring. May my every thought, word, and action radiate the love I desire to see in the world. This I declare in the name and in the nature of the living Christ presence within. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen.
We are so blessed here at Unity Center DC for extraordinary speakers, talented musicians who share with us each week their God gift, their message, their inspiration. And for us as recipients, I'd like you to take this moment and be grateful. If you want to express your gratitude by giving a gift to Unity Center DC, it's possible. We'll put up on the screen the options, but you can give online, you can mail a cash or a check to the address you'll see on the screen, so that we can continue this ministry, which has blessed us all. Thank you.